All right, so the landfill layer is actually super simple, but once again, as I mentioned in the last video, this is actually a very easy clip to do. It doesn't require any setup at all. It just requires knowledge of where to go with it. So I highly recommend just kind of studying where I go. Like, I'll explain exactly where I'm going, but I'd like replay this over a couple times. Make sure that you know the exact spot and how it works, and then try it yourself. Once again, create multiple save files. Can't stress that enough. Create multiple save files of the same layer. That way you can come back to it and practice it as much as you need until you're confident you're familiar with enough with the level that you can move on. So at the start of the landfill layer here, we're going to first not do that. We're going to grab a chunk and we're going to surf over here to the right. The wall you're looking for is this one that's like the furthest one down with the big like star at the bottom. You're going to want to AFAT and then chunk jump up into the wall. Once you're here, you're going to do that climbing method that I showed you back in Inga Isle, where you hold up and just hit A as often as you do to do that jumping while climbing. And then you get up here. Once you get to the top of this one, you're going to jump across over to this guy here. You'll be on the platform like right next to this one with the banana, and you're going to want to be on this little platform. What we're going to do is we're going to climb up into this little corner here, and we're going to clip through the wall. Make sure you're on ostrich, by the way, because you're going to need it for the next part. But yeah, climb up into this wall and kind of like weasel yourself into this little corner here. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to hold up and slightly left on your joystick, kind of like that. And then as you can see, you're going to kind of clip through the wall. Now, at the moment of clipping through the wall, like just doing that is not going to be enough to get you through the wall. You're going to want to, like the moment you see yourself clip through the wall, you're going to want to hit ZL to roll out and away from it. So that way you get through the wall, and it'll look something like this. I do like a roll punch as a safety measure just in case, but yeah, now you're clipped out of bounds and you're free to, do whatever out here. But all you're really going to do is you're going to come to this ledge and you're going to jump off, and we're going to dive down. The point of this is to skip the whole sequence of having to dig through the entire layer to get down to the void spike that we need to get to. And instead, we're just going to dive down the outside of the map, and then we're going to go back inbounds. It's super simple. From the moment you jump off the edge, it's about 8 seconds of diving before you see your like visual cue, which is a small room with a fractone in it. That is the room that you are going to go back into bounds on at. There are other ways to do this. This is just the safest way. But yeah, just count to 8, transform to ostrich on the 8th second, and then fly towards that room, and you'll see exactly what I mean here. I'd also recommend not holding anything on the joystick for at least the first like 4 seconds. And then after that, you can start holding up on your joystick to get like closer to the wall. Or like not hold up, but like kind of tap it to make sure you come into view. You'll see what I mean here. So you can't really tell when I'm doing it because like there's nothing to like visually see, but I'll let you know when I start moving forward. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So dive down, 1, 2, 3. I'm holding forward, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think oh, nope, I didn't dive down far enough. This is the room that I was talking about. I felt like I needed to count fast because I had to like explain what I was doing. But yeah, this is the room you're like looking for, and basically you're gonna clip back into bounds about right here. And then you're gonna go through here, switch to ostrich, switch back to Kong, dive punch onto the void spike, and that is the entirety of the landfill layer. Just dive down. I like to do my ZLB mashing here. It works just fine for me. Like I said, other people have different strategies. That's just what works. Roll forward. Let's trigger the fight with Grumpy. Transform into elephant. Now you got Pika Bruiser. Very familiar boss. Except for this one, you transform the elephant and you just suck up his whole entire body. And that's it. Grab a chunk, AFAT up to the top, and roll punch. The reason you want to AFAT up to the top and not try to walk up and climb it is those little blue holes that were on the ground. If you walk into those, it'll, like, not holes, circles. If you walk into those circles, it'll create a hole that you'll get stuck in, and it's really irritating. So it's just better to grab a chunk, AFAT, get up to the top of the mound, and start roll punching into the boss. Obviously, break the void mask, and get into this unskippable cutscene to complete the landfill layer. It's very short and simple layer. Not much to it. Just practice the clip. Get an idea of how it works. Again, create those multiple save files to make sure you have the ability to come back to it and practice when you need to. Roll forward, dive into the hole, mash A past the loading screen, skip the cutscene, and do your B mashing. Now that was landfill layer. The next layer is racing. So in between, in the tunnel in between, we don't need anything special here. We don't need to grab a ball or anything. Just mash through the tunnel. Avoid all the gold. What's funny about this is like the landfill layer and the racing layer both. Like the landfill layer isn't meant to be a fast layer. But the racing layer is. And what's funny about that is like both of these layers being back to back, like you're gonna blast through these within a couple minutes. It's so funny. I just find it hilarious. All right, so no loading screen here. Skip the cutscene immediately and dive down, and now we are in the racing layer.